It's a hive of activity so early in the morning as well. Lots of people already gathering here for Meetings Africa. Let me throw a couple of numbers at you, if you don't mind. I'm going to read them here. In 1994, South Africa hosted 12 International Association conferences. By 2012, this number had grown to 97 International Congress and Convention Association recognized meetings that attracted some 52,587 delegates to the country. And what we need to know is how much did that inject into the economy? Well, 663 million rand. And that's very, very important. And that makes a significant contribution to our GDP and to our economy at large. Well, and that, I think, maybe puts it in perspective as to why Meetings Africa is such a very, very important convention and conference that comes about every single year. Well, joining me now is the Sandton Convention Centre's Mati and Nyazema to talk about this home, which I think has been home to this particular exhibition for how many years now, Mati?
9 years now.
So from the beginning, it's been here.
From the beginning, it's been here, and we've seen it grow every year. It's been fantastic. I mean, it started off as quite a small number of exhibitors initially, just sort of South African exhibitors. Now you've got more regional exhibitors, so it's really becoming a Meetings Africa, because that's the whole point, that we must actually get together as an African continent, as a business destination, and try and attract conferences from all over the world.
Yeah. I mean, Mati, 20 years ago, the Sandton Convention Centre didn't even exist. And it's difficult to actually imagine Johannesburg without the Convention Centre, because this really is the place where, if there are major events, it's very difficult that you overlook the Convention Centre. How many more major events and conferences are you seeing coming to South Africa?
You know, we've got quite a lot. Every year, I would say we host probably about 10 to 15 international conferences. You know, the statistics you mentioned just now, ICA has got a way of grading what is an international conference. They've got to be rotating ones. What happens with Johannesburg is we get quite a lot of ones that do not rotate, because either they sort of intergovernmental, like UN type, or, you know, sort of some cause type or other. So those type of international conferences are happening, but do not necessarily make it into the statistics. So we actually host a lot more international conferences than what is recorded. Obviously, also the corporates as well, the banking sector, you know, all these other sectors, they also bring international conferences to Johannesburg. And it's easy, obviously, since 2010 with the How train coming in, and, you know, being able to attract more Pan-African delegates to the conferences as well.
I mean, especially here in Sandton, I mean, this is equipped for it. There are hotels all around. There is transport. There is infrastructure. There is shopping destinations, restaurants. I mean, do you find that international visitors that come here are just completely satisfied with the offering, or do they find that there is something missing and they do need more?
They definitely find it a very good destination. In fact, several of them, what we found is that when they've been rotating in other countries, when they come to Johannesburg, the number of delegates go up, because obviously people want to come to Johannesburg, not just for the conference, but also for the experience. And I think there's a lot more that Sandton and Johannesburg offers for the international conferences. And we definitely find that the numbers of delegates go up when people come to Johannesburg.
Yeah. There's a perception out there that doing business in Africa is difficult. And I think a lot of countries and a lot of companies look at that and think, oh, it's a bit daunting. Does South Africa have that same reputation, or do you think we're getting rid of that, or have we already gotten rid of that?
I think we've already gotten rid of that. I really believe that our business events industry is exceptionally professional. I mean, we do have the South African Convention Centre, the city, like with us, we work with the city of Johannesburg and Gauteng province when it comes to bidding for conferences, because we bid for events just as any other sort of industry does, whether, you know, like a World Cup, the same way, that's the same way we bid. So for this year instance, we are hosting the World Orchid Congress, and we had to bid for that a few years ago. But also, I think what people also don't understand is with conferences, it's not just about the meetings aspect of it, it's exhibitions, it's entertainment. So for this year, for instance, the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz is coming to the Sandton Convention Centre. And that is typical of a convention centre worldwide, where you start attracting big events, even more than just conferences. It's got to be events, banquets, exhibitions, and even weddings.
Yeah. What? Wow. Okay, you're actually right. I mean, the amount of weddings, I think, I'm not necessarily sure about the Sandton Convention Centre, but at the Albert Lutuli in Durban, I know that's one of the most popular wedding venues ever.
Last year we hosted about 5 weddings of about 1,000 to 1,500 delegates each. I mean, that's hectic.
At weddings?
Weddings, yeah, just weddings alone. Obviously we have smaller ones as well, but that is a growing industry for us as well. So it's really exceptionally varied in terms of the type of conferences. Obviously meetings is the primary thing, and exhibitions. And this year again we've also got Days of the Dinosaur, which is a new sort of concept coming from overseas. It's been an exhibition running in the UK and I think in Europe as well. And now it's coming to South Africa and it will be here for 35 days. And it's really aimed at children and families to come and just experience it, almost like life-size dinosaurs walking around the exhibition halls.
You're kidding me? That sounds fantastic. When is that? When is that happening?
It's going to be mid-June to mid-July.
Wow.
Yeah, so
I'm here. I am here with my dinosaur-obsessed 4-year-old. That sounds amazing. Mati, thank you so much. Thanks for talking to us, and again for being the home to this Meetings Africa. Can I get a little bit competitive when it comes to these convention centres? And I know they've popped up all over the country. I mean, I just saw the East London one, and Cape Town, and Durban, and you name it. Who's the busiest?
We are. I think we tend to be busy definitely in terms of the local business, because obviously people underestimate the number of corporates. Obviously we are right in the commercial heart of Johannesburg, of South Africa, of Africa. So we are lucky in terms of the business aspect of it. We definitely lead. I have to admit Cape Town tends to host more international conferences, but in terms of the local and international mix, we have got the biggest number. So we're right there with everybody.
All right, Maji, thank you so much for talking to us here on Morning Light, talking to us about the Sandton Convention Centre. All right, let's go back to the Johannesburg studio. Much more from Meetings Africa at around about 7:10. Stay tuned.